What's up, guys? Mitch from RespectMyRegion.com here with another episode of the RMR Plus podcast. Today, I'm joined by special guest Sean The Shaman. What's going on, Sean?
Yo, big blessings. What's up? Much respect. Glad to be here. I'm chilling. What's up with you, man?
Man, I'm just living. It's 4 p.m. over here on the mainland, getting into the end of the day, starting to wind down on the task, about to move into family mode. I know you're joining us from Hawaii right now, man.
I'm out here in beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii. I don't know if I'm not looking at the water from where I'm sitting, but I'm in the meditation room, my homeboy's condo. The other direction is crazy. It's just water and whales jumping and people parasailing, and it's all kinds of wild shit. And I'll be coming back home and I'll be like, man, it's so gray in Tacoma. But shout out to Tacoma. It blows my mind, the juxtaposition. Yeah, going back home soon. But while I'm here, it's 1 o'clock. Yeah.
So. Yeah, you looking a little different perspective of the Pacific out there, man. And so how long you been in Hawaii on this current trip?
Man, I got in I probably did something over between like 7 or 8 days out here. So
okay.
I did 2 shows, filmed a little bit for this video I got for this song I just came out with, Tsunami. And had a lot of fun, man. I do this thing. I like to eat food where I go. So Hawaii's the place. If you like food, whether you're vegan or whether you're a meat eater or whatever you got going on, you're gonna like this place. They got a lot of food, bro. It's lit. So yeah, shout out to Hawaii. Anyone tuned in around the world and all the people of the Pacific bloodlines, Samoa, Tonga, Micronesia. Shout out to everybody, because you come out to Hawaii, it's like a real international affair, bro. Mm-hmm. Like you run into people from like Spain and Portugal and like all these other. There's a lot of accents, a lot of different languages being spoken at any given moment out here. It's really trippy. Makes you see kind of like how much we all have in common, when you get to destination spots where the whole world is like in one spot. And I do mean that, like it's pretty thick African people, like straight from Africa, like because the whole world knows about this spot.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, so it's a world destination, man. Hawaii's that vacation spot. Some people move out there and never leave. Some people move out there, only make it like a year or two and got to get off the rock. But
yeah. That's what was at my show though. It was like a lot of people from all these different. And I played kind of 2 shows. I played one intimate, like a secret show, some shit they do out here where they like it's like in a house or a condo, like so it's like in a big condo, like overlooking this whole situation, and just like living room, like kind of Nirvana, Steve Aoki, and you see them documentaries with DJ AM, and like it was very much kind of like that. And the next day I played like this festival, which was obviously like it was like an indoor skate park. There was vendors, there was like way more people, and but in both crowds it was like NATO or some shit. It was like it was like so many different types of people, which is really trippy to see how different people react to your music, or like how people react in general to just different songs, and just also how gregarious and charismatic people are from other countries too. They're down to party and dance and be all loud and like not reserved at all. It's a trip. So yeah, man. But this isn't the only place I've been at lately. I was in California recently. I was at in Long Beach for the Cali Vibes Festival, which is also an international crowd. I've been really enjoying that element of music, I think. Using it as just kind of a vehicle, like, I notice like some people react to like maybe they like it in the part of the show where maybe I'm like doing something that's kind of West Coasty. Some people might react to something that's more reggae-ish, or some people might react to like bars or what they perceive as like flowing, like, just heavy hip hop. And like, it's a joy to like go around, and that's even what I saw at those festivals. Like when you have like Wu-Tang Clan with like Revolution, like these guys are like all soft and feeling good, feeling all right. And these niggas is like Wu-Tang Clan, like, say less, but it's like the backstage, everyone's together. And, the more you meet these different artists, these different people who you kind of look up to or like really listen to or whatever, the more you see that they might characterize the exact demographic of who they like speak to. Like I meet some cats and they like, I feel like I met that archetype of person before back home, and I'm like, well, this nigga's just like the niggas that he appeases to or whatever. And I found that really interesting in music too, bro. To just kind of focus, you know what I mean? Like, and it's no wonder that I kind of find myself in that reggae or like in that conscious hip hop space, because I'm the type of nigga that like I want to like be chill, but I want to like go deep. I want like, you know what I mean? Like, you meet fans and people that like give you respect for your art, and they really, you know, you could probably play the same fucking video games together on fucking chat. You know what I mean? Like it's like you have more in common with people all across the world. Music and weed obviously is probably a great catalyst for that too, you know, because everyone who smokes weed seems to have some common like thread of molding. Maybe more people need to smoke weed and we'll be all right.
It'd be bringing, you know, weed and music, those are two things that be bringing people together. But I like, you know, that you mentioned like meeting these people that definitely seem like the type of music they be making to their audience. And that's something for you where like this hip hop and reggae really makes sense. Cause I mean, you summed it up. Like you are from my experiences hanging around you, are a very chill individual, but always willing to take it deep and just talk about whether life or the complexities of issues or whatever. But what point did you kind of generalize? Cause I mean, from my understanding, you were like a little bit more hip hop and then started to bridge into the world of reggae, or was it more kind of combined from the start? Or at what point did you start to kind of merge both of those two worlds?
That's a great question, man. You know, I loved all kinds of music, and I was more of like a DJ for a really long time. And so I could play all kinds of music, and, you know, no one asked, like, you know what I mean? Like I could just play whatever fit the crowd in front of me. And I still do that when I DJ, right? Like you never know what's going to come out. But when I started, I was always kind of like writing raps, or had like maybe, you know, could like freestyle in a drunk setting or something, right? Like that guy, one of those guys who could like do it. But as I started playing more with, well, I mean, I should probably tell the whole story. I got my first set of turntables when I was like 15, and I was like rapping and DJing and stuff around like Spanaway, is where I'm from. And like, I was just kind of doing my thing, and I was like involved in some otherworldly activities, you know, so I would rap and be like kind of, I wasn't like dropping music. I wasn't on Acid Pro. Like that's when, you know, niggas had like some old shit. I did it a couple times because the homie had it, but I didn't have that shit. I lived in like a double wide mobile home, you know, and I was just far more into like getting in trouble, you know, and just different things like that. But the gift was always there. And I think, when I would hear myself back, I would like listen to my voice and be like, wow, you have such a distinguishable voice. I'm glad it sounds to me and to them like how it sounds in my head. Like I like this. But like I went into the Army, you know, and I like left home, and I left home with the intention that one day I was gonna like start a studio. That was the whole Army mission, was like I was gonna take this money and like bring a studio back to Spanaway and like do my music. It was like my concept at 18. When I got in the Army, you get like real brainwashed. Like you're really in this motherfucker. Like, you know, it's hard to like think outside of this shit. Because it's thinking for you, my nigga. Like, yeah, it's a whole crazy symbiote type shit. Niggas just, you know, everything's taken care of. So what's crazy is so I'm a paratrooper, 82nd Airborne. I'm jumping out of planes and I'm all this crazy shit. I was a medic. I got hurt on an airplane thing. I fell to the ground really far, like 100 feet. Like it's high, like higher up than I am right now, bro. Like I've been so high, like in the sky, like falling out of planes. It's crazy. When that happens, I ended up becoming this singer for the Army. So I got hurt. I got a chance to go to audition. Long story short, become this a cappella singer. Now music's found me again. So like I tried to like, thought I was like brainwashed out of it, but you know, it turned this tragedy into like a triumph because I got to join this really, you know, kind of prestigious and renowned group of a cappella paratroopers and sing everywhere, my nigga. I mean, and I was getting now access to see, not just sing like in a sense of like parades and like what you would expect, but like Essence Music Festival 2011, or like opening for Willie Nelson at SeaWorld, like all these kind of illustrious music industry opportunities that obviously I didn't know how to harvest back then and like take the full advantage of as far as who I'm meeting and what I'm doing. But I'm getting the real world experience, and spent that stage time is invaluable. You know, people talk about 10,000 hours. I've been on stage a long time. You know, I was like 19 when that started. You know, so I was already singing and like understanding the emotional characterization of like the musical number that you're giving at the moment. Because we might sing My Girl, and we might also sing like Can You Stand the Rain by like New Edition, where it's like somber and like really. So I always appreciated music. You know, when I talk about music, I kind of talk about it like it's film or something. And I don't just see the song, you know, I see a lot more. And I think that's how I feel when I experience and do it, you know. So the hip hop piece was just where I was gifted. I was a gifted rhyme combiner, and you know, I was a gifted voice, and I had a flow to my, you know, and I could hold the mic well, and it looks sellable and developmental. You know, it's like, okay, it was like I was meant to do it. I started really young. The reggae piece, I think I always wanted to sing, or like maybe I just loved the reggae piece, like of where that positive like vibration makes you feel. And I like weed. I think weed and reggae were kind of like a synonymous connection. And then it just felt really tribal, like to me, like ancestral. Like, you know, I'm not Jamaican by bloodline, I'm Nigerian by bloodline, but like the actual, the essence of how the music's played. And I guess like when I figured out that I could do big echoes and delays on my voice, and that it could like, it would fall on the ear the same way like some of these acts that like inspire me do. And I'm like, oh, I can like play with this. Now my voice is an instrument. And I kind of figured out like it wasn't just about rapping anymore for me. And it really never was. I never wanted to be like a rapper. I really wanted to be in like some Sublime shit, or like I knew that all I could really do was rap and like scratch some records, you know. But I wanted to like do more and be a part of something that was like more. Because for me, and maybe it's because I started with the singing a cappella where it's like harmony and leaning on each other, I like the collaboration element of playing music. You know, like church, like when everyone's together and it's like there's a spiritual. I like that. I it's a beautiful experience. It's like swimming. You know, it's really nice. And I think that the human being is like that. That's why we see crowds of people singing shit together. Something feels good about it. So if you can manifest that, you know, make something special with that. So I always knew I didn't want to just be like hip hop, unless it was like the Roots or some shit. I knew that I wanted to do more. And as I took my time, it's ironic because the first record I was ever on was a band featuring me. So it's like manifested, like it came my way, but I was still just like this DJ dude, but with that Sideways record with Decent at Best. And I knew like I'd come out and feel so exhilarated, my nigga, but I just knew I liked the drums. And so I was in another band for a minute. And, you know, when I left that band and started doing my own thing. And now it is like just kind of like me and a turntable and a hand percussionist right now. It's just two guys on stage. But having him up there, and his name's Hippie G, having Hippie G up there on these bongos and congas, and he has a hand pan, and it's like really, it's tribal in a sense. It's like special. People fuck with the drums. Hip hop is rooted in the drums, you know, it's all breakdancing, all the stuff is just drum beats. So like when the crowd, no matter where I am, you know, I can look to my right and have that jam feeling. And I think that there's a lot to be said for that with music. And that's why, like, I don't know, like it just comes out how it comes out, my nigga. I guess I didn't want, like, modern rap has shifted. My sound is like, I feel like more of like a timeless sound. Like I'm not like chasing after like a certain sound in any kind of way. I just make what feels real to me. And everywhere I go, like I could just like impact people with that, right? So like, I don't know, my nigga. I just knew for me, I wouldn't even limit it to just reggae and rap, bro. But I have to, for the sake of distribution and fucking
you gotta click the genre when you upload the shit.
Yeah, I have to like, yeah, even with DJing, I don't want to fucking DJ like one style. I just like music, you know. I don't really care like what it fucking fits into. I like Nirvana and I like, you know, Daft Punk and I like fucking, you know, Brother Lynch, you know. I like it all. I like a lot of things. I like a lot of the new shit that comes out. I like Baby Keem, and you know, I like, who doesn't like Lil Baby? It's hard not to like that shit. It's fucking great music, you know. And you know what I mean? So who don't like it? Niggas hate on Lil Nas X. Who don't like the way some of that music sounds? That music sounds good, you know. Whoever's producing this shit is incredibly talented and works very hard at it. You know it when you go and like record with someone who's like beyond. Like I recently recorded with this dude who's done like huge records, you know. and like just hearing immediately how you sound in their setup is like, damn, this niggas, and the intensity that you might have seen Dr. Dre like stand over the boards a lot, like in imagery, like even in the Super Bowl, it's a prop, but he's still doing it because it's like that's part of his, you know what I mean? It's like his b-boy stance. It's what he does. And when you go and watch like real analog creators, producer, engineer, accomplished dudes, they do that. They play that shit like some sort of maddening game of whack-a-mole. You know, they're just out there moving their hands all around this big old console, and it is this real shit going on that is completely like special and makes your shit sound amazing. So you got to appreciate it for what it is, my nigga. And I try to purposely book myself without like a bunch of rappers and shit like that, because I don't want to be just pigeonholed into like one style. And also I want my crowd to like really appreciate music. You know what I mean? And I just feel like I have a better chance of that if I diversify who I play with, because then I'm just going to meet people who want to hear something. And then when they hear me, it's special because they're like, oh, this is some hip hop. I do like hip hop too. I could, you know, like I like a lasagna, but maybe I came for the pizza, but you know, she ordered the motherfucking ricotta. I'm gonna bite just a little taste because I do like that shit, you know. And I feel like you get a lot with that, you know. And so anyway, a little bit of the deep philosophy. I didn't mean to dominate that for like.
Nah. You good, man. You good. That's what we're here for. And you know, I definitely know from watching you play live. You know how to rock a show. There's a lot, and you alluded to it there, but there's a lot of things when it comes to a traditional rapper, especially nowadays, you know, it's not as entertaining. There's a lot of people who have been highly critical of it. It's a lot of people standing, rapping over tracks, you know, cupping the mic so much where it's a distorted thing. There's a lot of auto-tune going on. There's not a lot of art to it. There's a lot of the same similar, come on, get up, make some noise. But it's like, you are definitely out there like engaging people. And do you feel like, I know it probably comes from various sources, but which area do you credit that more to? Is it the DJing? Is it kind of performing at these big shows and learning that through singing with the Army? Or is it kind of the hip hop or working with bands? Like, what elements have you drawn on to really learn how to engage with the crowd and get them engaged with your sound?
Yeah, man, that's a great question. I'd say it's definitely a mix between the DJing and the Army stuff. You know, the DJing, because when I DJ, I kind of cut my teeth more on weddings and proms and you know, like these very personable events that people might show up to in formal wear, where I've got to break down the psychological inhibitions of that, even just wearing a fucking suit and tie and all that shit, you know. And you know, there's a lot of conditions I'm handed in that type of instance that I can't prepare for. I can't control who's invited, where the fucking facility is. I'm not in control of what's being fed. Is there alcohol or not? You know, so there's a lot of methods and different things that I have to take into consideration when it comes to like coordinating a wedding reception and then like making it blast off into this, you know, dope party that like, was the greatest wedding ever. And it's like, you know, I kind of mastered that. I did that for many years before I ever was like rocking the mic. I did that after I got out the Army. So when I did that, I learned it made me comfortable with being all around the facility, talking to everybody, you know, controlling people in a fluid, almost like herding cats kind of way, like learning how to, you know, and just tolerating things. And then it's also like, there's a lot that comes with that, because there's a lot of failure and like embarrassment. I remember one time my hand is shaking. I remember my first time doing this like announcement thing and my hand just like shaking, the papers like flapping, like I couldn't control it. I wasn't even really that nervous, but my body's going through this reaction. It's a real thing. People will go through reactions, you know, doing uncomfortable shit and fucking be like, get me out of here. It's uncomfortable. So I think there was a lot of like comfort break you off moments. But I was really highly successful at that, and even set up to alley-oop with that because of what I did with that Army singing shit. Because I didn't just start out. I started out singing and I wasn't really all that good, but I looked the part. My voice was like deep enough, and like you can sing quieter and sound better. I know it sounds weird, but like you can sing quieter and blend it and enhance just the volume of that pitch, and then all of a sudden the note is stronger. And in acapella, so that's very important. But I ended up showing them that I could, like, you know, ladies and gentlemen, blah blah blah, respect my region. I showed them I could talk in this radio style, and they were like, oh. So then I became, you know, like, you know, 82nd Airborne Division's All-American Chorus, you know, we hail out of the great Fort Bragg, North Carolina, you know, and I started becoming this MC. That showed me I could go anywhere. I was like 19, but people thought I was like this old, I was buff, I was huge. I was like, all I did was work out. And I was like still a paratrooper. I was still like an army dude, but not being put now to this kind of boys to men kind of role. And I relished in it, you know, because I loved what I did, I loved my music. But what ended up happening, dog, is I ended up, you know, one day, this matters. I feel like this detail I'll hold for a second because I'll do the appreciation of music. But there's a fine detail at the end of all that that's like crazy and ironic. But you begin to see that like all of it was kind of predestined, you know, and that's that, you know, I'm singing, I'm traveling. I mean, at that time of my life, we opened for Darius Rucker. We opened for Brad Paisley, right? So that's like country music. Willie Nelson. We sang at Essence, which is like Jill Scott and like Kanye. This is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy Kanye. It's a whole nother level, you know. Charlie Wilson, you know, Shaka Khan, like just Black legendary, like everywhere. That's what I'm saying. Like you everywhere. You're not just at like some corny this and that. You everywhere. People was happy, you know. It was the whole thing. So you know, that gets you comfortable with controlling the crowd. So I showed up to DJing with all that in my belt. And then obviously now I get to control other things. I wasn't in control in that chorus shit. It's not my band. Like I'm still a motherfucking random ass artist, you know, artist soldier, happy to do this job, getting yelled at, forced to, you know, fucking sucks. I felt like Michael Jackson and fucking Jackson 5 sometimes. It was like it's absolutely terrible sometimes. But then other times it was great. And so you learn that, you know, and I think that the love for practicing and rehearsing the live show came from all that. So, you know, I never like loved rehearsing DJing that much. I like the moment of like playing a song. But like my music, for real, you know, the rehearsal is like
it's everything, man.
It's an important thing. Yeah. And then I think a lot of niggas just ain't doing that or whatever. And that's cool. Like records are made, like shout out to producers. Like records are made. You can almost say anything. And if it sounds good enough or we can fuck with, like you can do a lot with technology. You know, it's not like Aretha Franklin singing in the lounge. It's like getting redeemed today. It's not, you know, you don't have to have the soul and the magic of the sparkle. I just feel like when I play that I am a reminiscent of like, oh, that nigga's got a lot of soul. He's poured a lot into this. This is dope. He's saying something. I can articulate what he's saying. The people is fucking into. There's an energy here. He's sweating. There's veins. I fuck with this. And even kids that like listen to like modern hip hop, young people be like listening, like seeing me and be like, oh, this shit is dope. So I think that's why I keep getting invited to do shit because it's actually really good, even though it's you know, it's very original. It's its own thing. And like, you know, why is Wu-Tang Clan at the reggae festival? I don't know. You know, it works. The people want that. They want to mix. You know, my shit can be mad abrasive.
And certain artists like Wu-Tang, right, and kind of the genre you feel are like a little bit more universal, right? And even like you mentioned Decent and Best, so I know you worked with a lot prior, and you know I always describe them as like it's hard to pigeonhole exactly their sound. Whereas like Wu-Tang, obviously they're hip hop, but their audience is so big and so broad. They could play a hip hop festival and play a reggae festival, probably put them on like, you know, select EDM festivals just because of their celebrity has just surpassed a singular genre. And then you look at, you know, artists like yourself or again like Decent and Best, like, you know, you could put you guys on different lineups and different genres and still fit in, right? Like you can kind of chameleon your way through different things where it's just good music. Like anyone that's into like live music can just get the vibes, even if it's not their preferred genre, right? Like I don't listen to a ton of reggae shit like on my own. I do listen to Bob Marley when I be cooking and shit. You know, especially on the weekend. I don't know why. Corona, Bob Marley cooking, that just puts me in the right mindset.
That song, Positive Vibration, Rasta Man Vibration. That shit is at a barbecue. That shit is, yeah, it's a situation. But right. You know, it's like food, bro. Mm-hmm. It's food in a different way. You know, our diets are our diets. Like the people who buy one type of chips, they buy that chips. Like most, it's their favorite shit. They buy it. You know, there's some people who never want to try sea salt and vinegar Tim's Cascade chips. But then there's some people who are like, yo, I'm crazy about these sea salt and vinegar chips. Yo, I need those. Let me get some. I love those, you know. And I've learned now to be and to receive it that way. You know, I think that these are like different jumps you make as a wanting to share your shit. Because I honestly, why do you think I was DJing so long without rapping and shit? But then I couldn't do it. It's just that I thought like I don't want to deal with like, you know, people judging or like people feeling like it's not this enough or not that enough. And but you know what shifted that was like having some successful moments. That's honestly all it is. But you can't have a successful moment if you're not willing to show up and like do it. You know. And so like Sideways helped my confidence a lot because the record came out amazing. And they saved me for like the last song of every show because it was just such a explosive moment. So I would be like, yo, like, you know, people would learn this, people knew the lyrics, just like my real life I'm writing about. You know, it's really an interesting experience to have that happen because you're not expecting that to happen. You know, it's not like was like a SoundCloud rap song. It's like you got to really. Anyway, it's just interesting, dog. Nothing against SoundCloud or SoundCloud rap, but I'm just saying in general, it was like real people choosing to listen to a song, however they fucking found out about it, and then cheering when I walked out, and then you know, singing that shit back. And I was like, you know what? I go to a lot of niggas shows. And they don't be having anyone knowing their shit or like super cheering crazy when they come out, like really happy. People like, yeah, fucking, yeah, like fucking the show. Like they were like, yes, oh, I love it. And I'd be like, and people would write me from like military people, or like people who had heard it from someone from like, yo, that song, I listen to it all the time in this location, this place. So I was like, oh man, I was afraid of sharing like Perseus, Love is Free, all these other hip hop records, which was written like years ago. You know, because I was like, I remember I showed it maybe to the wrong people and they were like, yo, you need to make some shit that's more like Pitbull or something. And I was like, what are you talking about? You're like, you rock parties, man. You're a DJ. You need to not write. They kind of gave me that Kanye shit. They needed to, you know, you need to be in this place. You know? And I don't even, you know, that shit was discouraging. I was like, what? Like a Pitbull? Maybe I do. Maybe I'm just here to like rock some 120, 128 BPM, like high octane dance shit and just like wear a bow tie on these motherfuckers. I don't know, nigga. But I was like, nah, this shit is hard. And it's the shit that I wanted to write because it comes out so easy for me. You know, like when it's easy and fluid and you have something to say, the songs write themselves. You don't really write shit, you know? And so that was another piece of it with the reggae. It's like when I hear those beats, like Tsunami that just came out, when I heard that fucking beat, dude, I was like, nigga, what the fuck? Like, I love that shit, you know? And when I play that shit live, bro, like it rings out. Like in my set now, it's like the first or second song I do, and it's it rings off. Like Tsunami is a fucking rings out when I play it. So that's exciting, bro. And honestly, I wasn't even big on sharing the music. I liked playing just live and having people like ask me like, where can I hear this? And they'd be like, you can't hear it. But I realized how many people wanted to hear my shit. That's real, bro. So it's honestly, bro, it's just love. And we don't know where the path is going to fully take us, but it's already taken us some places, you know. And I was on this Billboard #1 jam, this reggae jam. So it's weird because I just be rapping on the reggae shit, but they call it reggae, call it hip hop, call it alternative. Nigga, just keep calling me for the shows. And,
but it separates, right? And that's where I think a lot of people, you know, I was talking about this a while ago with someone on another episode where it's like, you know, when you look in the game, it's like usually the top of the top, and I don't even like to say the A-listers, but I'm saying like the top of the top, who's really like moving the most units, the most popular. They have very distinct sounds, and they're, you know, you look at them, the Drakes, the J. Coles, the Kendricks, they're also not as, even though they're commercial, there's still so many elements of them that are like real and authentic to the culture, like the old heads or the authentic people listen to. But then underneath that, where I'd say the majority of artists are, you know, and I don't mean to discredit their size, but the Futures, the Babies, Lil Babies, all those guys, they're a little bit underneath that tier. And then underneath that tier, you have everybody that's trying to sound like the B list. You know what I mean? Like nobody's even trying to sound like the A list because that slot's filled. But some
I've
reason, it's like
literally never heard this broken down like this, but
all the
it
C
makes a lot of
listers
sense. Yeah.
are trying to sound like the B listers. So it's like, you know, it's just like, I don't know, poverty, right? You got like your 1%,
Why is
and
that?
then
Yeah,
you got
that's some
huge.
crazy shit that you're talking about right now. This is like this is book bullet point type shit.
I'll be, you know, I'll be smoking and I'll be thinking, but it's like,
Apparently.
but it's like
Yeah.
so many people are trying to fill this role that ranges, right, from like upper middle class to damn near out of poverty. And again, that's just taking it to economic metaphor. But you have so many people just competing for a smaller slice of the pie. And it's like when artists like yourself or other people that come out that are different, they understand like, I don't got to do what everyone's going. Let me step to the left or step to the right. Like so many more opportunities come out because it's like you have something that fits, that doesn't fit. You know what I mean? Like this other pocket that everyone's trying to sound like, I don't know, I could throw a rock and have unlimited choices of who I could do to fit that void. And when someone steps a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right and carves out their own lane, it opens up more opportunities. And like, were you kind of taken back? It doesn't sound like it. Were you conscientious of like, I'm going to create this lane simply because there's opportunities and I can double down and run with it? Or is it more like, I'm just being true to myself, and then that so happens to breed opportunity from that action?
Yeah, I found that the music was easier to write, like the realer that it felt to me, like truer to me. And then the elements, like, so even when I was rapping, I was utilizing I use this mixer, the Range 62. It's not really that used that much by a lot of people anymore. They use Pioneer products a lot, but I like the Range 62. It has this vocal effect thing that I could do with the mic input. It's a really warm mic input. It's like a really good preamp. It's like I learned while I was DJing with that if I turned on the echo, and I was just trying to do some cool Herc shit, you know, make some noise for Mitch. Like I tried to like, you know, I figured out that like I could rap or I could use that it would sync to the BPM of the track in Serato, and then I could adjust the wet and dryness of it to a place like for different purposes. And so I started like when I would rap and different things, like I started understanding I was manually doing what I was describing the major producers doing on this elaborate level. And I still do that to this day, transitioning out of a song or like talking, giving an announcement or something. And like, so for me, I knew when I wrote certain records, if I heard something in my head, like that I could give myself some echo if I like was going to rehearse it in my living room or like, you know what I mean? And I think that I joined this band, Dirty Tribe. I was in Dirty Tribe for a second. And I'm not in it, 2 years really. It was not a second. I was there for 2 years. One of those years was COVID, so it feels like crazy weird.
Sure.
But we had a great chemistry. We had a really great thing going. And my role when I joined that band, at first they hit me up because they wanted me to give them like a sideways rap. You know, they wanted that. You know, like, hey, we got this song, you rap, blah blah blah. And I was with that, but I was like, no, I like this sound because it's that sublimey kind of shit that I fuck with. I'm gonna over deliver. So I wrote like a whole record. Like I wrote like they sent me some ideas and I wrote the singing part for this nigga, the singer, and this and that. And I started like accepting like I could write for even though I can't do what he does, I could instruct him to maybe try this. And I bet it's gonna sound dope because I hear it in my head. And sure as shit, my nigga, it worked. It was like this nigga, what? He was writing shit. What the fuck? And then I didn't even bring my turntable the first day to they shit. And like my DJ elements, I brought it the second time. And when I brought it the second time, you know, I knew that I was gonna scratch some samples and like some sounds, but I was grabbing like orca sounds and like wolf howls and like high pitch sounds that I could like add a lot of echo or delay to. So that way, if I like brought, especially with like a low pass or high pass filter, I could like change the dynamic of a musical. You know what I mean? I started like contributing in these ways. So they were playing reggae music in like kind of a rock style. They wanted to have some hip hop. My flows fit. I could write very freely with them because there was no contextual thing, and I was the featured rapper guy. So it was like my job in that band was to be Mike Shinoda and DJ Han. You know, I was adding the same texture, and I really liked being in that band. That was a reggae band, so it made me, I think that helped play into it too as far as my solo shit, because I was like able to explore that and go and play a reggae festival and see the audience for myself and like see that people were like really supportive, buying all the merch, in tune, learning who you were, learning your music. all types of ages, all types of colors, all types of income brackets.
Mm-hmm.
You're tapping into a bigger base, an international base that's built on positivity. And I can talk what I talk about, which a lot of shit I talk about is like pretty abrasive. Sometimes I'm a pretty abrasive guy with my subject matter. I don't choose to be. It's who I am, and they still took that, like, then they roll with it. So I think that the reggae shit stuck with me, especially after the Dirty Tribe thing, because I was like so used to it. And then of course Ethan Tucker put me on the Sublime project, which is like all these reggae fucking super bands.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up charting on a reggae Billboard thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I just got kind of, because I'm a big Sublime and all that shit, all those guys, I think that you just get pushed into it. But Ethan, we talked about this the other day. He played a lot of reggae when he first started, but now he's like a soul artist, but he's still booked on these reggae shows because it's like Jack Johnson or something, he's like able to just like be put where they, where good music is heard, and his spirit and stuff is accepted, and the friendships that you make, these relationships with these other acts, to be able to access and, talk to people, and because you fit who you fit and you are who you are, and you've been who you were this whole time, you're not imitating. I love that philosophy. I never heard anyone break that down about the B and the people imitating that and all that. But yeah, because you're not, and you're like choosing to do that, and because you're trying to kind of keep hip hop alive with like the turntabling, like I'm not A-Track, I'm not like crazy, but also my bars, like I'm not trying to be Pusha T, I'm not like out here trying to be like, I'm more comfortable being like a Beastie Boy or like a motherfucking, like, I'm more comfortable just saying what I gotta say. Like I'm not even tripping about it. Like I'm not tripping about this or that anymore, because the music that's really impacted my life, I don't think they was tripping about it. Like, like I don't listen to Tupac and think that he's really tripping. He's just writing. Like he's not really tripping about like, oh, this has got to be the most craziest like line, or it's like, nah, I got stories to tell and shit to say. Like that's all it really is.
Yeah.
It's the same with blues. Like niggas sing about, oh, my old lady left me, blah, blah, blah. And he'll sing that for like 7 minutes in a blues record. And like, you'll be like, man, that nigga's good. Like, oh, he's making millions, he's just singing what's real. And I don't know where the final evolution is going to come. In my mind, I built a metal band, to play some metal music back in September. It was a Sean the Shaman booking, but I was playing for some troops or like a veterans thing because I'm a veteran, right? So like, of course, right? Put the fucking cool veteran at the veterans thing because we always used to this campy shit of these, country act number 7 or whoever the fuck, they got cover band number 9. They got all these fucking 80s rock music, whatever. No, bring this nigga in because he's like the real deal. And he's like the real deal in that other shit. He's really 82nd paratroopers, all this shit. So, he's going to, and I keep it real. Like I tell these motherfuckers what it is. And I do my shit how I do my shit. I'm not cleaning shit up because you got your grandma and kids there. Like I wouldn't come to do that. Came to give you the real. And so I knew I was going to give them the real. And I was like, what's realist to these niggas who've kicked in doors and like had seen their friends die is like Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, like some shit that's going to hit and like make them feel some kind of way. So I put this group together of like these metal musicians, and we rehearsed the fuck out of a couple songs, like 3 songs, and we killed that shit, because in my mind, I want to rock out too. I want to be able to, I want my act to be able to be booked at the hip hop show, the reggae show, and the rock show, and stay selective of where I choose to, and who I choose to be around, and how I choose to play the music. It's fun playing MP3s, and I go in the studio and I make show tracks, and like I try to like get creative, especially now that like I'm playing the role of the DJ and the rapper. So like the songs are longer, the show tracks are more elaborate. There's longer songs because there are multiple songs. It's split into a WAV file.
Sure.
And, going back to the board as an accent to the show to cut or do some effects. It's all, it's like it's rehearsed, but it's also jammed out. It's like. But dude, having live instrumentation is like, that's why J. Cole has live instrumentation. Like there's no second to, having a drummer and like a fucking guitar player. Like actually there, it's changed your whole shit. So I think that's where I'll end up, man, is playing all of it, and if I can have a catalog one day that's like as dynamic as like the Red Hot Chili Peppers or some shit, where like it starts out the first 10 years, sounded like this. And then they hit 91 and the nigga found out he could really sing, and we have Under the Bridge and all that. And then 10 years later, we get Californication and we get all this, you know, and these niggas is old and they still rocking. They're about to drop a fucking double album. You know, that's crazy. And tour with A$AP Rocky opening in Sweden. That's wild, you know? And A$AP's with them. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, he's the supporting act.
He's a supporting act, for sure he is. And I'm saying it's like Trap Lord, A$AP, opening for the Chili Peppers. That's wild, you know? And when they come here, it's like Thundercat and the Strokes, you know? And,
yeah,
you know,
and I think two to one of your points, right? Like of being able to play all these genres, I think, you know, hip hop is the biggest genre in the world, but I think people tend to get pigeonholed in their mindset of thinking that the hip hop consumer is just into hip hop, right? Whereas like with it being the biggest genre in the world, that still means for a significant amount of that listenership, it's not the only genre they listen to, or it might not even be their preferred genre, right? There's a lot of people that fuck with rap that listen to rock, or you know, there's a lot of cats out. I grew up in a country ass town, man. Motherfuckers have subs in their truck. They look like, and they definitely do listen to some country shit all day, every day. But they definitely are bumping some hip hop. You know, they're definitely throwing hip hop records on. Man.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of those country artists are trying to sound like rappers now. And the things that chart in country sound like a stolen hip hop record. It's a recipe, you know.
Oh, they took the same. They took the same 16/8s. They took the same.
And the metaphorical, the simple, like, you know, the way they talk about their things is like rooted in hip hop and black slang. It's like, it's crazy to me. But yeah, you're telling the truth, man. Yeah, it's if you look at it like food. And if you look at your artistic like ability as like a chef would look at food, you know, he's not a bad chef because he chooses like not to cook. Like there's some chefs who like, you know, don't want to cook, right? Yeah. We meet like that mom who's like, is someone else cooking Thanksgiving? It's like, Mom, you make the best like stuff. Like, and she's like, well, I've been cooking for years. And I don't want to cook this year. It's like, doesn't make her a bad, you know, I think musicians, I met a lot of great rappers who never, you know, amounted to much fiscally, but like soul wise and like in the moment of impacting with them, it was like really special. Same with singers. Like I met some great singers who like never harnessed, you know, the consumer element of singing and like got into the marketplace, you know. But I owe that, I think, to the not just the DJing, but like singing in the Army stuff. Because like if I didn't see the industry, if I didn't see people doing things, if I didn't see clipboards and production things, if I didn't get a chance to go to hotels and do all these things and live this lifestyle, I wouldn't have believed that it was maybe as possible for me either. And I also wouldn't have understood what it took. You know, I don't think it's so much off of the streams and shit. I think it's off of who you are as a person and like your live shit. It's really off of like, are you about to add value to me kicking it here right now? Because I'm here, you know, and I'm not at home on 2K or whatever. Like I'm here with you. Are you going to make me happy I came here? You know, regardless, right? And that's really what I learned in that shit, because there was times niggas missed a few notes and you felt how that felt.
Man,
times that niggas did well and you're like, oh, this is exciting. So it's like I'm brainwashed and conditioned from the jump to try to basically appease the audience, but also like take the music to a super serious, like, you know. And I just think like that's exciting to me, man. And I love. Now I'm 31 and I meet young cats and I'm in a mentor position sometimes. And then sometimes, a lot of times, I'm still like a baby. Like I'm here, they call me Baby Huey here. Like I'm a big, stupid baby. Like I'm a very smart ass man, right? But like, you know, you still such a rookie and so green behind the ears to niggas that got like Grammy Awards and stuff. You're not even there you don't have the bank account. You don't even have the watch. You don't have the sponsorships to even talk about music, you know what I mean? Like, so, you know, those are humbling moments, but like, yeah, you're gonna stay learning and developing. Like, you know, I think that before this is all done, I'm gonna do arenas and like, you know, have at least, you know, I know the recipe's not far away. It's really financial for a lot of folks, you know? And the financially capable tend to want to work with the most talented. That's how that works. You know what I mean? Like, but until you get that financial, you got to sell the t-shirt and the weed and all that stuff to make the music to the, I'm saying it's a lot of finances. Like going and working with Mario Caldado Jr. was not the question of, am I dope enough? Can you pay this nigga for his time? Because it's fucking the price of a used Honda, right? Like just for his time. And you learn that, and it's like mad humbling that it's like access at that point, you know. And how do people get access? So you, it's why South by Southwest and those things are important, right? So people can actually meet people, get an
Right.
opportunity. It's not saying you're gonna be great. You may just be not that fun to be around, or maybe you're just not that fun to watch play your music or whatever. But you know, there tends to be a lot for that. But if you can just get in those doors, like I think you picked up on that on your own, and you say, I need
Mm-hmm.
to be better at playing my shit, or I need to be better at, you know, you go out and you burn some bridges, and you're like, I don't want to do that no more. Like, let me try to be cool if I still want to be a part of this, right? Because
Trust.
it can take a lot out of you. You know, I'm here in Hawaii. I've been here for some extra days because the flights was cheaper to do it on this extra day. But you know, I wanted to go home like a day and a half ago. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and but when I get back, I got to get right. I get flying at 7:55 tomorrow morning, and you know, I got the open mic thing I host tomorrow night, and then I got to go pick up some speakers and get ready for this thing on Saturday. Because not only do I have the show with Indubious, but I'm DJing for like 7 hours a day on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeesh.
Powerlifting competition, right? Because I make money and I gotta spend money and I make money again and I gotta keep it going and keep it
Mm-hmm.
turned on, you know. And I don't think that maybe a lot of people understand the amount of energy that you expel doing a lot of social stuff, but also being like the guy, like doing like hosting it and bringing it
Mm-hmm.
all to a place. And you know, we do that. We kind of burn it hard, and then like go and hibernate, and then come back out and just like burn it. And like I realized as the years crossed over into 2022 that I kind of feel like I get like a solar battery, where like the
Mm-hmm.
God or the universe, how you want to explain it, is giving me like a yearly battery of like a certain amount of time and stamina that I can like pull from. And oftentimes I drain it by the time I get like before the year ends. So by the time we
Mm-hmm.
get to December, late November stuff, like I'm really tapped because
Look, man.
I'm giving more of myself for eons, you know. And it's like no matter what I do, no matter how much I sleep, whatever, that's not coming back. Like you gotta, it's gonna reset by the stars alignment kind of thing. And I feel like, man, I'm happy that I'm in this zone I'm in, able to do all this shit, because like it doesn't, nothing lasts forever. Like, you know, you're gonna hit these modes where you gotta
Mm-hmm.
hibernate, stay in. So, you know, I think maybe people is too busy watching like what other someone else is doing instead of understanding their own perennial
Right.
clocks and like what works for them. I do the rap and the rock and the reggae and all this because it works for me. Like, you know, I do the reggae shit, it works for me. I'm comfortable in it. You know, I'm just not, it's not fake. I just do it. It went number one on the Billboard shit because I guess it worked. Like this shit
Mm-hmm.
worked. People, you know what I mean? Like we doing this because it works. And you know, but you only find out what works by finding out what doesn't fucking work.
100%,
You know,
100%.
11 years RMR.
Yeah, yeah, and the best way to learn what you have to work on is when you get embarrassed or you fall flat on your face and you're like, oh, I
Sucks.
don't
It
have that,
happens.
I don't have that thing the way I thought I had it, or it doesn't work the way that it worked in your
It
head.
still happens. It's gonna keep happening though. You know,
Oh
even
yeah,
the most
yeah. I
highest
mean,
levels, like Elon Musk's rocket didn't even like go off. Like, and that nigga's mad
yeah, and
successful.
when I look at it like, like everything, I don't know, there's a lot of different metaphors, but you look at like a car, you buy a car, you got to fill that bitch up with gas, you got to get it serviced, and then just some shit's going to go wrong. Was it a manufacturer fault? Was it your fault? Did a rock come, was it something that was placed in the road outside? Like shit's going to happen. And then sometimes you think that you got to fix one thing and it's not that, and you work that, there's so many different components. It's not ever going to just run smooth. It's the human body, right? Like we get diseases, we get colds, we get things, no matter how healthy some people are. Like you could fuck around and catch cancer or something. You know what I mean? There's certain things that happen that are outside of your control and you can't really prepare for. And you have to learn that there's going to be an equal amount of wins and losses, of positive and negative, of God and the devil, whatever side you're looking at, they're good and evil. There's a different max. And I think the older you get, the less you learn that you can't control all of it, and you could just prepare for it and identify it and identify what you can change and try and change that or prepare that. But
Yeah.
I want to circle back real quick. You're landing back mainland tomorrow. Um, you got some shows. What all do you have kind of lined up for the next couple months?
Well, people can find me, man, this Saturday at Jazz Bones, opening for Indubious. Also, Stay Grounded is on that bill. And then there's some different DJ things I've been posting about, comedy show stuff, things like that. I just recently DJed for Michael Blackson over there at the Super Funny Comedy Club. I got some stuff coming up with this dude, Bo Blast, who's out of Tacoma. He's a really funny guy. And then planting seeds coming up early April. And then I think we're doing Eugene, Oregon after that on April. I kind of look back at it. Eugene, Oregon after that, somewhere in April. I feel like it's like the 16th or something. Private gigs, April 9th. I think I'm playing like this real estate gala for the Women's Western Washington. It's down there at the Foss Waterway. It's like a big. So, finding my ways of doing the private things and getting to the bag and doing the public things and expressing the art. Coming up this summer, I'm on some festivals, some different things I'm on. I'm looking at a lot of it's Northwest stuff. There is a prospect of some travel, some national travel coming up in the summer to play. And so some of that stuff's still up in the air and isn't really completely ironed out. But, dude, I just went down, made a song with Ethan Tucker. It's called Bad Man. It was produced by Mario Caldado of Amore Sound. And he's the mind behind, he did a lot, man. And he did Bust a Move, he did Funky Cole Medina. He did Wild Thing. He did all the Beastie Boys stuff. Yeah, all the Beastie Boys stuff after Def Jam. It's like in that song Intergalactic. He did all that. He's just a great dude. He did Jack Johnson. He did Beck. He did a lot of big smashes. Yeah, he's and then we had this other dude with us, Drew. I don't know Drew's last name, but he did all this new MGK shit. He does he's on Pink, he did a lot of Miguel's shit, Adorn and shit. Fucking smashes, right? So it was my first time working with niggas that make smashes. It was a way different vibe. It was a way different thing. And it's a way different budget, it's a way different everything. And your role in what you do and what you contribute is way different than recording back at the pad or recording locally, even around Seattle. It's not even, couldn't fucking touch it. Then again, I never recorded with Ryan Lewis and them niggas. I don't know what that's like, but this is probably what, there's times where you realize oh, the band is great. And there's times where you realize, oh, the producer's really great. You have really good multiple producers and a really good artist. That's where you get I think that's where you get some
creativity just starts. The ceiling.
I think that's where we get those records that stand the test of time, motherfucking pop smashes and shit, real pop smashes. Anything from Adele to Drizzy. Drizzy, they'll talk about his record and they'll be like, so and so did the drums, so and so did the such and such, so and so, and it'll be like Hit Boy, Metro Boomin, 40. It'll be a whole group. And you learn that, and that's what I learned in this experience was when you bring, my verse is really cool, it was dope, but it was weird because it was 27 parts. It's not even doesn't fit into the mathematical balance of a smash, certainly. So it was either cut the shit down, maybe it was 28 bars, cut the shit down, or add 4 more bars to it to make it 32 split into 2 16s. That's what we ended up doing. But that's Mario Caldado. He's fucking counting your shit. He's it's a whole thing. This nigga is a fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame motherfucking, it's a whole different thing. You're not just coming in. So yeah, that was an experience. I had to come up with 4 new lines, which I did. And I was able to, because I'm not glued to I don't fucking care. I'm happy to fucking make the record, dog.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that I bring that up because when that shit drops, that's going to be on Ethan Tucker's album, and I have a feeling that's going to be a very special song in my career. Just given the pedigree of who's worked on it and how it sounded when I left the studio. Though I haven't even heard the mix and stuff, but everything I've done with Ethan has changed my life. He's the one who put me on Sublime shit. The reason I played Cali Vibes because he was on the bill, and I just got to do both songs with him. And opens a doorway up to so many networking opportunities that the average human being will never be able to just go, and this doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I realize all that. So, Ethan, if you ever watch this, because you're a busy man, my nigga, thanks. And you should come on and talk to these niggas when your shit drop. Because these guys are good guys. The Northwest represent, but on the West Coast, and pretty soon in Hawaii, that'll be a thing. That's something that's conquer the whole Pacific on some triangulation shit.
Yeah.
And, that'd be good. There's some good people out here. And I think that you guys will really enjoy it. It's a different pace. The legalization pieces aren't there, but as far as the art piece and the music piece,
yeah,
the event space and the brands and like the entrepreneurial pieces, like these people they're for real. And a lot of those people, that reggae piece is like that's a place to explore, because they are going to come back mainland. Like a lot of those bands, Common Kings, Hyrie, those people are from out here. They're just out in Cali playing all the time because the California vibration likes that style of music. So it just fits, it overlaps. But a lot of people aren't leaving, especially, to Be Real TV, shout out to him. He's not like always out in Hawaii, I don't know if I should have said that, but I'm not dissing nobody. I'm just saying in general, like, a lot of publications stay where they're at, and people got to come to them, but you meet people in other spots, and I don't know. I feel like it could be cool. It could be real cool. So.
Yeah, we've had some idea. That was back, I was telling you a little bit before we started, when we were just the clothing line. That's a lot of people. Some of my friends that lived out there were like, man, the word respect. They're like, that do really well out here on the islands, and just some of the values. And so that was a goal of ours. Like I said, it shifted, what we've done shifted a little bit, but we'll break out there, especially if the legalization spreads, and I can't complain. There's very few places that I'll be really, really excited to travel for business. I mean, I'm excited to go everywhere, but out there would not be a bad spot to be, man.
No, it'd be great. And whatever, man. If I could ever help you talk to anyone, like here I'm at the condo, my homie, but he's a Northwest transplant. It's love, man. There's all time. We got people out here. We got people everywhere. That's how we feel sometimes.
Truth.
Yeah. Truth. What's love? It's love, Mitch. I appreciate you.
Well, I really appreciate you hopping on today. For everyone out there looking to find Sean, at Sean The Shaman on Instagram. I believe it's SeanTheShaman.com too. You got the website.
Yeah, I got a fucking website. That's right.
Yeah, it's not a lot of artists. And it's a good looking website. There's not a lot of artists out there. Got everything in one place. So you can go to SeanTheShaman.com, at the Sean The Shaman on Instagram. Planting seeds coming up at the High Dive, April 2nd on a Saturday with Generational Wealth and Greg Cypher.
Yeah. Shout out both them cats, man. Come out and check out Greg Cypher, motherfucking MC for real.
Yeah, he's about that shit.
Been at it for a minute.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, I really appreciate your time, Sean. Safe travels getting back, man. I'm gonna try and slide out to this High Dive show, man, and come fuck with you live, man.
I appreciate that.
I don't leave the crib much, but I'm gonna try and get up out.
That'll be worth it. Generational Wealth is lit. I'm lit. M5 Vibe is lit. He's from Savannah, Georgia. He's kind of got like this vibe, bro. I guess why he call himself that. It's good. So I hope to see you there. Hope to see everybody there. Motherfucking High Dive, April 2nd. Shit, why not, bro? Tickets are super affordable. So I'll catch y'all there, bro. I'll holla at you, man.
Hell yeah.